आप भी बड़े बड़े सेलिब्रिटी की तरह अंग्रेजी बोलना चाहते हैं और आप भी अंग्रेजी में बिना आत्मविश्वास खोए कोई अंग्रेजी बोलना चाहते हैं तो हमारे साथ जुड़े रहें। हम हर रोज आपके लिए एक नई कहानी के साथ फ्लोरेंट इंग्लिश सिखाएंगे।
In a small village nestled in the heart of rural India, there once lived an old man named Raman. Raman was not just any man. He was known as the wise one of his village. People from nearby villages often came to seek his advice on matters big and small. He was not wealthy, but he had a heart of gold, and his wisdom was respected by all. Raman's family had lived in this village for generations, and his house was located near a massive banyan tree. This tree was ancient, its roots stretching deep into the earth, with branches that provided shade to the entire village square. For Raman, the banyan tree was more than just a tree. It was a symbol of his ancestors, of the lessons he had learned, and of the history that connected him to his land. One day, a rumor spread that the government was planning to build a new road through the village. It would cut straight through the square, meaning that the banyan tree would be cut down. When Raman heard this, his heart sank. The banyan tree was not just a tree, it was a living piece of the village's identity. Losing it would mean losing a part of their heritage. Raman decided he had to do something, but he was only one old man. Determined, he began visiting each household, speaking to the villagers about the importance of the banyan tree. He reminded them of all the weddings, festivals, and gatherings that had taken place under its branches. Children had learned to play there, and elders had found shade and solace beneath it. Raman told them, "This tree has seen our joys and sorrows. If it goes, a piece of our heart goes with it." Gradually, his words stirred the villagers' emotions. They began to rally behind him, and soon a plan was set in motion. The villagers decided to submit a petition to the authorities, stating that the banyan tree was sacred to them and should be spared. Days turned into weeks as they waited for a response, and in the meantime, Raman led daily gatherings under the tree, where villagers would come to discuss their lives, their dreams, and their worries. As the days passed, Raman grew weaker. Age had taken its toll, but he continued his mission with unwavering spirit. One evening, as the sun was setting and casting a golden glow over the banyan tree, Raman gathered the villagers around him. He shared stories of his childhood, of how he had climbed the tree as a young boy, and of how his father had told him that the banyan tree was their family's protector. He told them, "Even if I am not here tomorrow, remember that this tree will stand for you. It is our link to the past and our promise to the future. Do not let it fall." The very next morning, the news came, the authorities had granted their petition. The road would be redirected to avoid the tree, preserving the banyan and sparing it from the axe. The villagers celebrated, but their joy was tinged with sadness, for they knew Raman's health was failing. He had used all his energy to fight for the tree, and now he was bedridden. As he lay under the shade of the banyan tree one last time, surrounded by his family and friends, Raman smiled. He knew he was leaving his village a precious gift, a legacy that would live on long after he was gone. And so, when Raman passed away, the villagers planted another banyan tree beside the old one in his memory. The two trees stood side by side, their roots intertwined, just as Raman's spirit remained entwined with his people. To this day, the banyan trees stand in that village, a reminder of a wise old man's love for his land, his people, and the legacy he left behind.